So right now, more and more Americans are becoming furious with the current state of the economy and realizing that they can't afford things. They can't afford, basic things like, food and rent and clothing. But what makes it worse is that they are now starting to realize they can't afford things off of a regular 9-to-5 job. They have to work side jobs, do side hustles, so many different things, and it's still not enough. Today, that's what we're going to discuss, talk about what's going on, why this is turning into a bigger issue than many people were predicting before, and how this is going to kind of spiral out of control here very soon. So if you have any questions regarding any of this stuff, please ask your questions down in the comment section below, but let's get right down to it. So first off, if any of you are working a part-time job, have a side hustle, whether you sell on eBay or Amazon, you're driving for Uber, maybe do stuff for DoorDash, things like that, let me know. Go ahead, hit that like button, but also comment down in the comment section below. Let me know what you do, okay? Now, the reason I bring this up is because more and more people have been saying that they're working too many jobs. They are doing, things for DoorDash. They're working for Uber Eats. They are, working a second job. They got, so many other things going on, and they still can't afford to live. Now, here's a crazy thing. There was a survey done by, I think, LendingTree just recently, and it said that 61% of respondents said that they couldn't afford their basic necessities without their side income, without having money coming in from Uber, from DoorDash, from Lyft, from Amazon Flex, working a side or even a side job, having 8 to 20 hours a week. They couldn't afford it. They couldn't afford to live. And that's what's scary about what's happening right now, is more and more people are realizing that they don't have the ability to do this stuff. They don't have the ability to go and take a vacation, pay off additional debt. They can't do simple things like sending their kids to school, and not even private school, just basic, even public school. Can't afford to take a couple hours off, in the morning to take their kids to school, right? Simple things. For most people, it's simple, but for others, it's like, I can't take an additional hour off. I can't take an extra, 30 minutes off every single day to take my kid to school because, I need that. What was it be? 2.5 hours a week, adds up 10 hours a month. They can't afford to take 10 hours off every single month, especially if you're making $20 an hour. That's $200 a month that you're losing out on. So that's kind of the issue that we're facing. Now, I read another report. I think it was from, payments.com. I think it was one that they did just recently. And they even said that there's like 67% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. That's scary. That is very scary that so many people are living paycheck to paycheck simply because the American people we're not making a lot of money. We're not making boatloads of money right now, which is scary. So millions of people are living paycheck to paycheck and can't get out of it. They have no way to get out of this. They try working extra hours, and it does help. People that are working overtime now, with the new One Big Beautiful bill that just passed, they're gonna get no federal income tax on overtime. That's great. It's gonna help a little bit, but again, it's not gonna make you a millionaire. Unfortunately, it's not gonna pay off all your debt. It's gonna help you a little bit here and there, but unfortunately, it's not gonna do enough. Now, those that are getting paid and making tips, you're gonna get no federal income tax on tips. That's gonna help. That's gonna be a benefit. That's gonna be a little bit of an incentive to hopefully make more in tips. But again, it's not gonna be enough. And again, I bring this up because I've talked to several people recently, and everyone says the same thing. Like, I wish I had more money. If I only had a little bit more money, if I only made an additional $500 a month, I could pay off some of my debt. I could, buy a new car, not a broken down, 1980s car that barely runs, that has more issues than anything else, that needs new tires, needs a new engine or transmission, and I can't even drive it an hour because, it might not even make it, right? I hear from so many people that say they're tired of the place they live. Their landlord is taking advantage of them, and they can't afford to get out because they've been in so long that they don't have a security deposit, right? That they have been in the apartment for so long that they don't know, how they could afford first month's, last month's, and a security deposit. And think about it for a second. If you live in an apartment, or even if you bought a home, how much do you have to put down? If you bought the average home, for instance, it's over $400,000, and you got to put down about 20% of that. How many people have $80,000 just sitting around doing nothing, waiting to be put on a house? Very few. Okay, when 61% of Americans, or 67%, excuse me, are living paycheck to paycheck, that kind of shows that they're not going to be able to afford a $400,000 house, put $80,000 down, or for many people, be able to get into an apartment. I think the average apartment, what was it, like $1,600, something like that, here in the U.S. But if you live in a state like California, what are you gonna get for $1,600, right? That's the big question. So again, more and more Americans are furious as they realize that the economy that we're living in, it's too expensive. I talked to several people over the past probably 3 days, 4 days, and every single one of them said the same thing, that their business is struggling. They can't afford to hire new employees. They can't afford to keep their employees that they have now. They can't afford to keep some of them even on. One of my friends just told me yesterday, I believe, that what's today? Yeah, actually 2 days ago. Okay, so he told me on Friday morning that he was going to have to let go 5 people, 3 of which were brand new, 1 of which has been with him since he started the company, but it's become so expensive to keep that person on, just because of their package. And then 1 person that was a manager just couldn't keep them on, so had to let go of all those people on Friday after work. And he said it just killed him, especially the one that's been with him since the business started. He said it was difficult. It was probably the toughest decision he's ever had to make, but the only other decision that he had was shut down the company. So again, it's not just people that are working 9-to-5 jobs that are not able to make it. Many small business owners can't make it as well. So one thing I just still want to share with you, and I know this is more of a little bit of a rant, but one of the things I just wanted to share with you is that we're starting to see more and more people struggle, and they're struggling because they don't know what to do. They've never been here before, and so just understand this is new to a lot of people. The tariffs that are going into effect, here in the next month, it's going to hurt millions of people. We're going to see a lot of people lose their jobs. But again, this is the reality of where we're at. So just understand right now, if you're struggling, if you are having a tough time because you're just not making the money that you thought you would or that you need to live, just understand you're not alone. A lot of people are in that exact same situation. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Ask your questions down in the comment section below. But the big thing I want you to take away from today's video is simple. It's that more and more people are struggling, and it's not because they did anything wrong. It's because everything's got so expensive, and people are trying to live the same life that they lived, 3, 4, 5 years ago. And that's the only downside, is things are too expensive. You have to cut back, you have to scale, you have to learn to adapt. If you can do that, you'll be fine. You'll make it out of this economy, and hopefully you'll be better off in the future. So I'll leave you with that. But again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.